Hey fellas, today I would like to discuss Bitcoin a little bit while it is chopping around our all-time high. And basically, everybody sees this 2021 all-time high line, and we are chopping it right now, and that makes a lot of longers and shorters confused. And it is an ordinary thing during the time when we try to break the all-time high because the market maker tries to confuse all those bulls and bears who think that actually this situation when we chop this all-time high when we are not reclaiming it and holding strongly like it's supposed to for the continuation. Basically, a lot of people start thinking maybe it is our double top with some kind of fake out and we are going to reverse from here. So that is why a lot of people here are not certain about the future of Bitcoin, and we need to discuss this one from the macro perspective, from the macro point of view, on the higher time frames and the local situation. So let's start with the current all-time high, that 2021 all-time high, and this is for me this is a psychological and only local obstacle. Yeah, only on the daily time frame and on 4-hour time frame. We talked about it on my Twitter account many times during this last few weeks. That after we broke it, we lost it already one time and then reclaimed it, and currently we are chopping upon it and trying to hold it. It looks either one of the two. It is either the accumulation, the consolidation before we go higher, or this is the reversal point before we go lower. And from the lower point of view, I already shared this line that I drew a few days ago, that we need to break this one to break this line, counter trend line, local, to be sure that we are going higher. Because before we didn't like situations and patterns like this, because when we have ascending lines, ascending candles, yeah, where each high is going higher, and then we switch to the lower low. And from the time then yesterday when I drew this one, we tried to break this one, but we couldn't, and the weekly monthly switch showed us with that we couldn't break it and reclaim above it to go higher. So that is why our daily candle started with the descending, and we even pierced our ultimate support here that I was talking about. So let's look at the bigger picture again, get back to it, and we will see on the weekly. For me, this all-time high doesn't mean anything. Actually, it is only local obstacle and all local level for me. And we only at this moment we are just only building interest right here, building order blocks and trading here. But the real all-time high for me is here in this green zone. Why? And mainly the greatest support is here below this, right upon this, and we can see that we're feeling this support here because during the previous cycle, the previous all-time high, we were trading a lot here, and a lot of closed traders were left here many times, here and here, and this is the biggest area of the interest that left behind. So this is actually you can call it the range all-time high for me. And the rest of it, these candles that we had, these moves, they were manipulative to make people here think that we are going higher. It is the deviation for me, a fake out or deviation, whatever you call it. And here another one, even though we were trading within this range, it doesn't mean nothing. Why? Because everybody, it was market makers psychological move, because everybody saw this resistance after we fell down to this level, and after we were back here, uh, everybody knew and everybody was trading the same situation, meaning if we break this $71,000 level and trade above it and go higher, then definitely we are going higher. And that is why a lot of people on the market at that time were expecting Bitcoin going to 90, 100,000, 120,000, $140,000, because they saw that we broke this key resistance level. But the movement wasn't very convincing here, and that is why I told you guys on my Twitter account back then in 2021 that I don't believe this break, and probably it is going to be the reversal. And definitely this trading of this range doesn't mean anything. It was kind of the deviation for me. So basically this green zone and $61,000 in particular, it is the main important support zone for me. And as you can see, we retested it twice already, and it was bought back each time. And at the same time, we can see a red wick was left here. This is the inefficiency, and these inefficiencies we recover sooner or later. It doesn't matter whether the market goes higher up from here or we will recover it after that, because these weeks they get covered sooner or later, but no guarantee that we are recovering it now. But later, a little bit later, we will discuss why we actually can do that in the coming days or weeks, if one of our scenarios plays out. Okay, also we need to know that we have left inefficiency here. That is in favor of our scenario where we can go and retest it. As you can see, the yellow bands, they show you the inefficiencies. This is the inefficiency that we have left here, and it is going to be covered either this time or maybe later. I would bet on a later, but nobody knows for sure, of course, and that would mean makes sense to recover it. But technically, I think at this moment, I think the lowest we can go is to retest this either 65 or again 61,000 and go higher back again. I don't think we are going to retest 58, 56 right now. Maybe it is going to be on the way back when the bull run is over. Then okay, let's stick to our low time frame and local situation. What we have here. So basically, as you can see, the current all-time high locally works perfectly as support and resistance. And as you can see, if you followed my Twitter account recently, I was talking about if we lose this red line, the second one, definitely we are going lower to 65, 66 and trying to find at least local support and a reversal there. But as you can see, we during all these days we were trying to break this resistance line. We were trying to go for a higher high, and no success in that for now. And each time we were trying to break through and go higher and renew our local all-time high, we met huge resistance and engulfing. As you can see, each time we were engulfing here, this line, and again this line. That doesn't mean that we are not going higher at the moment. It is going to be decided, I guess, in the next day or two. What we need here to help us understand what is going to happen next, we need the 5200 MA, my favorite indicators for the buybacks, And reversals, as you can see, it worked perfectly. 200 moving average, as we shared on our Twitter account, worked as support here many times here. Then we flipped even the 50 moving average, and now we tried to retest this 50 moving average, and we fell down straight into the 200 moving average support. And usually I would say then definitely we are going to be squeezed into the to the upside and go higher for the new all-time highs. But we need to pay another attention here to Kijun, our loyal indicator here. Basically, what we can see here, that we have approached a very sharp and narrow corner. I love these corners because usually they show me the bottom and the reversal for the further upside movement. And at this moment, I can be so sure that this is going to be movement to the upside, movement higher. Why? Let's talk about it. We are still under the 50 moving average on a 4-hour time frame, under it. Then we are very close to our Kijun support. So basically, what I am looking at today, we need either to break it and break this blue line, resistance line, and retest it, maybe even with Kijun, to go higher. And if we break it and hold above it, then definitely it is a sign for me that we turn bullish, and it is a green line, a green light, and we are going higher, and the alts will follow. But if we will dive under the Kijun here, maybe we'll try something like this, then definitely we are going to $66,000 at least. Maybe there will be an attempt to deceive us. What do I mean by that? Let me delete this one, this few guys, and remove this one. Basically, we can do something like this to go to 70,500 and then get rejected sharply and dive under the Kijun and then retest it and go finally to 65, 66. How would it look on the daily time frame? It would look convincing, actually. Why? Because we have this very unpleasant, actually. This is usually this kind of candles without the wicks from above. They usually mean the reversal and the descending, and that would make sense for me, and that wouldn't mean that we have reversed for good and we are going down badly. This may be a little bit of trap. Why? Because it would make sense for me here, technically, if we lose that 4-hour time frame Kijun, it would make sense for me to go here to retest this green zone and simultaneously to retest our daily 50 moving average, and this is already a stronger support. And after that we could recover and go reclaim this 2021 all-time high line and finally take off and go for the new all-time high. This would mean a lot of sense to me, because most of the people, when we fall back below 68,000, they already will be talking about 59, 58, 55, all these uncovered areas. They will be talking about it, but they don't see what we see. First of all, 50 moving average, and secondly, this corner of Kijun support. And this is not a sharp Kijun support corner, which tells us that after we retest this one, if we retest this one, then we go back higher above and we reclaim the level, the key level here, and go higher. That is what is my plan. And according to what I see on the altcoins, on altcoin charts, altcoins, they need another small wave down before they can reverse and retest their major midterm supports. That would be lovely for me, and that would be clear for me actually. So basically, it all depends on this situation locally, because the 50 moving average and 200 moving average, they are so close to each other that they actually can squeeze in any direction. And I am saying that if we hold this Kijun and this line and go above it, then definitely we go higher. If we go something like this or immediately and dive under Kijun, then definitely we go to 65, 66 at least. And then we start chopping, consolidating. If we start consolidating, then there might be a chance to go back above. So these are my scenarios and my expectations. Unless we break this blue line resistance, that nothing is going to happen and nothing is going higher unless we reclaim it. And why this makes sense to me even from the 50 moving average or from the weekly time frame. Let's look at the weekly. It looks like, yeah, we left this inefficiency, but we had after that the previous weekly candle opened above the all-time high, and immediately, of course, we went down when the new monthly candle was opened. And this is an ordinary thing that happens each time we open a new monthly candle after the previous big green candle. And actually there are two scenarios here. As I already said, we either find support here and take off until the end of the week from this point, or we get deeper into this green zone and then we take off with a huge force to the upside. We get pushed to the upside. So basically, these are my scenarios that I'm looking at, and this green zone is the most important for me for the consideration of the further price action and the overall picture of the market. And if we look at the monthly time frame, let's look at the monthly time frame. It looks legit for me too. Basically, after the so many green candles, we can finally here we opened above this current all-time high. But I told you that this current all-time high doesn't mean much to me. A lot of people put a lot of importance and to give a lot of psychological importance to this previous all-time high, but actually for me that doesn't mean anything. We can squeeze and pierce this all-time high line how many times we want, and we do that. Actually, the most important for me, this green zone as support. So basically we can push either from here, from the level that we are now, or we can get deeper into this zone somewhere here, and then we find the liquidity and push higher, that when everybody thinks already that we have reversed and this is a bearish situation. For me, this picture looks like this, and the deeper we go, the stronger tail we will draw here for the acceleration into the last, what I call, and I think is going to be our last green candle in a few months. Why do I think so? Let's remember our rule. If you remember it, our rule, the consequential 9. If you don't know it, what is this? Sorry. The sequential 9 is the candles count, actually the pattern that usually works on the high time frames during the bull markets, the super cycle. Basically, usually when we start the super cycle and the instrument goes parabolic, as our BTC chart at the moment, definitely we count the green candles, and usually historically we have this regular thing, the custom, when we have 9 or 8 but we call it the consequential line. But usually we know when we have a lot of green candles, big green candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is the 8th green candle potentially. And usually when we approach 8th and 9th candle, we should be very careful, because either the 8th or the 9th candle is going to be the red one and is going to close like the red one, and is going to show the reversal in the midterm. So basically, in my opinion, from what I see right now, I think we have a very huge opportunity to either from this zone or from this, we can shoot until the end of the month, at least as high as we can, at least into this new high, this new trend line that I have. Maybe not reaching it fully, but if we do, it is going to be awesome. And after that, we could reverse and start bleeding back into this one. And it will depend on if we do actually draw this last monthly green candle, then definitely it is going to be depending on how it is going to close, how high it will go. It will depend how low we will drop below. So basically, if we go as high as we have this line, then definitely we will drop back to this all-time high as our support, and we will meet our 2020 global trend line support here intersection, and we will continue to do something like this. But if we do not reach that and our high will be somewhere in other place, for example something like this, then we can actually drop lower, maybe even like this abruptly, and get back and continue the journey. Nobody knows at the moment. It is a very long-term scenario that we have a lot of unknown things and data at this moment to talk about it, but these are some assumptions that I have. Basically, I think my point here is clear, and I'm looking at this situation right now, whether we are going to drop below the Kijun, and for now, damn, it looks like we are. Unless we reclaim this 50 moving average as support, and again this line that I showed you many times, unless we break it and reclaim it, no further movement. And if we dive under, then definitely we go retest 65, 66, and then after that maybe we will reverse and find some power to break back above and go higher. This is my reasoning, and these are my thoughts regarding Bitcoin. Okay guys, thank you for your attention. Good luck on the markets. Don't be overexposed to leverage. Cheers.